Okay, welcome back to another vid. So 2 years ago I did a Titanfall beta impressions vid, and that was on the Xbox One, which actually led on to the very short-lived Titanfall Tuesday vids. I only made two, they were a bit rubbish, and obviously it was a series which never took off. If you're really that curious about checking them out, I'll put a link in the description box, but they're going back a couple of years now and they're not all that hot, so you have been warned. But yeah, so I thought it'd be kind of funny to 2 years later do a beta impressions, although I think technically, is it an alpha or a tech test, I think is what it's called. So yeah, but either way, I thought it'd be interesting to do a tech impressions, or tech test, beta impressions, whatever you want to call it, 2 years later. And see what's changed, what I think about the game, and whether I still enjoy it. Because I did enjoy the first one. I thought it was good, but ultimately lost interest in it after a while. There's a number of reasons why. One, obviously just being busy. Two, a lot of other games were out at the time. And I don't think that being an Xbox One exclusive, I mean, obviously it was there, the idea behind it, Microsoft, was that it'd be a huge, huge hit and everybody would buy an Xbox One. But I think by having that exclusivity, I think it did put a lot of people off, because most people, the majority of people do have a PlayStation 4. Now, I've got a PS4 and an Xbox One, but I'm just saying I think the exclusivity kind of hindered Titanfall. Now, by having it as a cross-platform game on the Xbox One and the PS4, it's also, of course, out on the PC, but having it as a console cross-platform game, I think that's really going to help the game ultimately sell. I mean, stating the obvious, I guess, there. And as a result, it may make it stick around a lot longer. Now, the DLC is all going to be free, which I think is a really smart move. If you go back to the original Titanfall, I think the game came out and then the DLC came out not long after. They charged, $10, $15 for some DLC maps and some game modes. And then not long after that, it was made free. And when I saw that the first map pack was free, I thought, well, I'm not going to pay for the second one, because that's going to be free as well. And then sure enough, a few weeks later, that was free. So they kind of screwed up a little bit there, but by having the DLC free almost straight out of the gate for the maps, for the game modes, I think that's a really smart move and can only prolong the life of the game. So that's a good move, like I say. So the beta's got 3 game modes. We've got Armed Hardpoint, we've got Pilots versus Pilots, and then there's Bounty Hunt. Now, Armed... Oh, by the way, you're watching Pilots versus Pilots here. That is basically 8v8. So there's no Titans in, which kind of defeats the point of the game, I guess. I will actually put some Titan footage at the end of the game, maybe a couple of minutes from me just messing around in one, just so you can get an idea if you weren't already familiar with what the game's about. So yeah, this is just 8v8 pilots, so human control players shooting and killing each other. First one to 100 wins, basically, that's what it is. There's also grunts and spectres, so in other words, enemy AI running around the map, and they're not very clever at all. They should be cannon fodder, they should be easy kills, which is a big complaint for a lot of people. Now, I like them in the game, and I said this 2 years ago when I did my Titanfall beta impressions, I think the grunts, the AI, the bots, whatever you want to call them, I think they're a good addition, because not everybody is a skilled first-person shooter out there, and some people feel quite threatened and, out of their environment, out of the zone when they're playing against highly skilled players. And by having the grunts in the game, I think it makes people who aren't very good at these kind of games, it makes them feel as if they're contributing to the game. So that's a good thing. I like it anyway. I guess if you're really, really hardcore about your first-person shooters and your online games, then it might not be your bag. But I think it's a good thing, and I think it encourages more people to play the game. So that's that, yeah. There's Armed Hardpoint, like I say, which is basically a style of domination. Hold a certain amount of points on the map to win the game. And Bounty Hunt. Now, Bounty Hunt is my favourite game mode so far. It's basically a case of kill the enemy, again, either the AI or the human control players. You get money for that, and then you can deposit that money into essentially a safety bank. And the bank disappears off the map every now and again. And so you're left with this really kind of tactical decision of, what do I do? Do I deposit the money before the timer kind of runs out? Or do I just hold on, get a few more kills, and then deposit it then when you've got even more money? So it's a nice little tactic you can kind of use. I tend to pretty much deposit it as soon as possible, and then you've got rid of it, and then you don't lose it, and it's done, it's dusted, and you help your team to win the game. So that's what I prefer. Now, there's 2 maps in the beta so far. I did hear that, I keep calling it a beta, I think it's technically, like I say, a tech test. But either way, there's 2 maps so far. There's Boomtown, which is this one, and there's Homestead, which of course is the other. I did read there's going to be a third, or maybe there is a third, but I've not seen it. So whether that's coming out in the future, or whether I've just not had that game on rotation yet. I'm not sure. I also heard, again, I can't confirm this, but I think they're going to release a second tech test, or alpha, beta, whatever, in a few weeks perhaps. The game is due to come out in late October, so very, very soon. We're in late August. So, yeah, basically what we're seeing is essentially the full game. They can't change a great deal. I guess maybe they can make a few things tighter, you know, add a few things, take out a few things. But essentially, what we're seeing in this beta, the tech test, sorry, is what it's going to be when it finally comes out. Now, another thing I'll say is that, you know, such is the internet. You get a plethora of opinions, and from what I've read and what I've seen on YouTube and various comments so far, it's been quite divisive. A lot of people don't like it. One of the things a lot of people don't like I say, are the grunts. They think it kind of takes away the enemy AI, or the lack of it. It takes away from the skill, if you like, makes it a bit too easy. Which is true, but like I say, I like it because I think it encourages and entices more people to play the game. Another thing they don't like is a new addition, which the pilots have got, which is a grappling hook. Now, I don't think I use the grappling hook in this game, but it's just a nice way to manoeuvre around the terrain. You know, you can combine that with the boosting and the double boosting to jump around, and the wall running, you know, to jump around the buildings. So I think it's a good addition. I've just not really used it. I would agree that it does feel a bit clunky, but I've only used it literally a few times. I'm just basically playing it the traditional way, boosting, wall running, and just on foot like this. Now, one of the things I've also noticed in comparison to the original, and it was really obvious to me as well, having quickly gone back and looked at my original Titanfall on the Xbox One beta impressions vid, was that the graphics, well, especially even the graphics, I mean, the graphics obviously look better. The game's 2 years on, the developers have had 2 years to play with it, to harness the PS4 and the Xbox One. It just looks a lot brighter. It's a lot more pleasing on the eye. If you go back and look at the original Titanfall, it still looks quite good, but it's a lot more washed out in comparison, quite grey, like dark green, and this is a lot brighter all around, or at least in the maps that I've played so far, the 2 that it's got on the beta, or soon to be 3 apparently. So I do like the fact that it does look a lot nicer, a lot brighter. The sky it just looks a lot better. So there's that. I also think the sound is absolutely fantastic. I'll check this out, by the way. So I get that guy, and then I'm running through, and then lo and behold, I see that guy there hiding in the corner like all first-person shooters. He was shooting at my teammate, and if he hadn't have done that, if my teammate hadn't have come through, then I guess I would have been an easy kill there for that guy sitting in the corner. I mean, come on, man, stop doing that. Why do people do that constantly? It's just not a way to enjoy a game. You know, whether you're doing it, it can't be fun doing it, and it certainly isn't fun just being on the receiving end. You know, just explore, go out, you know. All right, from time to time, if it's tactical, you know, if the timer's running down and you don't want to get shot, I kind of understand it. But don't do it when the game's still got a way to go. And speaking of which, you can see at the top there, it's 91 to 60. It's the first to 100 in this particular game, so it's quite a lengthy game. Although I guess it depends, you know, how skilled you are. If you're playing on a good team and you're at a good level yourself, you're going to get to that score a lot sooner than anyone else. So I'm doing all right for myself, as you can see on here. It was actually a really close game. If you go back maybe to the first part of the vid, I think we were like sort of 24 points behind, something crazy like that. 20-something, or it seemed that way. And I know I was hiding in the corner there, but that was tactical, because I heard him coming. So just in case you were wondering. Other than that, as you can see, I'm kind of running around a bit like a headless chicken. But, you know, I get the job done. So, yeah, we were behind by a long, long distance, and then we turned it around and did quite well. And as you can see now, the score's at 99, and I was running around thinking, I want to get the last kill, I want to get the last kill. I was following this teammate here, and my thinking behind this, the greedy thinking, was, well, he's in front of me, so he's going to get the kill, so I'm going to jump over here, someone's there, I take 3,000 bullets to kill him, but I do get him, someone annoyingly kind of gets me, and then there's this big explosion afterwards. But we win the game. We win the game, I get the last kill, so it feels good. And then it moves on to this epilogue, which was in the original, and I really like it. And essentially what that epilogue is, basically what happens at the end of the game, is both teams become alive again. If you were killed previously, it doesn't matter. It's like everyone starts off from scratch, and my job here is to intercept. As you can see, it's got that intercept yellow, kind of like yellow, orangey, white thing there, the wording on the end of the screen. And basically that's where the mothership for the enemy is going to appear. So it's their job to escape, and it's my job and my team's job to kill them or to blow up the mothership. Either way will do. So I don't think I do it. Maybe I do. Actually, I think I do in a second. So there's the ship. No one's on it right now. It's waiting for the enemy. So the enemy will be doing their thing, or the enemy as I see them, and they're trying to find the mothership. They'll be looking on the map trying to get it. And there's the scoreboard. The skull icon indicates the people who have been killed, trying to get to the mothership. The mothership escapes. Check this out. This guy's trying to get on it, run round the corner, melee in the face. And that is very childish, and I do hold my hands up to do the whole teabag thing at my age. But a bit of fun, and I got a bit carried away with the emotion. Good reflexes, man, running around just whacking him like that. So he missed the mothership by just seconds, as you saw, it just kind of went away. No one managed to get on board, so we won. And so it was a good ending. So we won the game, which is great. I got the most kills, which is great, selfishly. I got the last kill in the game, which is great. And then I got the last kill in terms of the epilogue at the end. And we won because they didn't manage to escape. So really successful gameplay. But yeah, so Pilots v Pilots, I do quite like it. But I much prefer Bounty Hunt, which is kind of silly because I didn't include it on the game. Although with that said, you can see now, this is some Titan footage. And this is actually Titan footage from the Bounty Hunt gameplay. So you can see that dollar amount. I'm currently on $38. So the most kills you get, I can actually blow up the Titan here. I think maybe on the next one. You see a little icon appear in the middle of the screen saying Titan kill. I think you do anyway. Yeah, any second now. There we go. So Titan kill. So I got and it says in the bottom right as well, electric smoke grenade is what I killed them with. Those things on the left-hand side are trip wires or trip mines that you can put on. That guy there, I shot him and I was thinking, where did he disappear? But obviously, it was just an assist. I just thought he just literally disappeared to thin air. So yeah, at the bottom right as well, that icon on the left indicates how close you are, the Titan thing with the green thing around it and the white shield, grey shield. When it gets to blue all the way around, you get your Titan. The L1 indicates a vortex. Did I use it a second ago? If not, I'll use it in a minute. That's basically where the enemy's shooting at you and you can essentially stop. It's kind of like a Matrix thing. Stop time. You hold their bullets and you can throw them back at them, which is really good. The button next to it is the triangle button, which I touched upon. Is like the trip wires or the trip mines, which you can lay down, which are useful. And then there's the R1 button, which is just kind of, I think, just your standard fire button, basically. So yeah, there's my dollar amount is going up all the time. Every time you kill the enemy or a Titan, or you know, the bots or a human control player. Obviously, if you kill a bot, then the dollar amount is very low. So really, the emphasis is on killing human control players and Titans. If you call in a Titan, you don't have to go in it. You can do. You can even leap out of it at any time by pressing, I think it's the left button on the analog stick, or on the D-pad, I should say. In fact, if you look at the L1 button, the vortex thing, it says it above it. It's got the little orange thing there. So yeah, you can get out at any stage of your Titan, and yeah, it's just good. It adds a variation. Now, if you go out your Titan, it can go into like an autopilot, and it'll go around, it'll get kills for you and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's really good. It's a really good game. This beta footage, or the tech test, I keep calling it beta, it's for the PlayStation 4, I think I mentioned that, but it's also out on the Xbox One. I'm just pleased it's got a cross-platform release this time. You know, I thought it was a really good game. I did like it on the Xbox One. I thought it could have been a system seller, but it never really worked out that way. But it is a good game, but I think this will obviously broaden it out to a lot more people. And that's another good feature you can do as well. If your Titan is pretty much doomed, you can eject out of it. You'd have to be a bit of an idiot, really, to stay in it when you know it's going to explode. But you can do if you really want to, for whatever reason. But yeah, I much prefer the obvious thing to do, and that's to jump out. And hopefully when it explodes, it can kill surrounding bots, computer control players, and other Titans as well. So it's kind of, it's almost like a cyanide kind of thing going on there, cyanide pill. So that's kind of good. Well, kind of a cyanide. That's kind of a weird thing to say, I guess. Maybe it isn't like a cyanide pill. It's just like a suicide bomber is what I was thinking of saying, which is equally as weird. So yeah, Titanfall 2, really pleased to play this tech test, not the beta, and I will definitely be buying it. I'm probably going to buy it on the PlayStation 4, just simply because I think I've played the beta now quite a bit. I could download it as well for the Xbox One, but what's the point? It's the same game. So, knowing me, I'll probably get it for both systems, but yeah, probably going to get it for the PS4. And sound-wise, I think it's brilliant as well. I've got to add that. The sound is extraordinary. I'm using an official PlayStation 4 Uncharted 4 headset, and it sounds so good. It's insane. So I will buy it. It's just going to be really interesting to see whether it kind of dies off a little bit like the original game did, or whether it's going to stick around a lot longer as a result of it being a cross-platform game and having more people buying it and playing it, I guess. Time will tell. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until my next vid, see you later.